Hello YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to another model rocket review video. Another review, no launch in this one. The launches are kind of getting hard to do. The weather is horrible where I'm at right now. It's like just insane. It's rainy, and then it's not rainy for a little bit. Now it's like some like crazy ice storm going on, which like by the time this video uploads, this might be like a month late, but either way, um, I'm really trying to get a launch, and I want to get a big old launch. But for now, yeah, we're just stuck recording reviews. Plus, I'm kind of busy with just like school and stuff. But anyways, this rocket I got for Christmas, so I'm opening this up like a month late. But this is the Hermes HLV by Apogee Components. Now, this rocket is super unique because, as you can see here, it has side boosters. Just like on like the space shuttle or the Artemis SLS, the side boosters, and that's one thing, right? Because you have rockets like this one that I just opened up and reviewed, the Minotaur, which also does have side boosters, but these are just for show. Like they don't actually, you can't put in motors into them, right? There are some kits that will have, um, like side boosters where you can put motors into them, and have them be like clustered, so you have like multiple motors go off, uh, more than once at a time. And that's pretty cool too. But what's really unique about this kit is, unlike most of those kits where like the boosters, they still stay on the side. Like the side pods, they stay attached, they stay glued. They don't like detach afterwards like you would see on like a two-stage motor, right? This one, the boosters actually do like fall off like a real like space shuttle type rocket. Now, as far as how model rockets work, I don't think there's really any practical benefit to that, but it's really freaking cool. So let's unpack this kit and show y'all what I got. First and foremost, let's take a look at the paperwork, if you will. This is, of course, the cardboard sheet. It's really pretty nice looking artwork. I will put this on my wall, um, like I do for a couple of my other cool looking rockets. Anyways, gives you some details. Four rocket engines, three drive-away pods, large payload section here. So this is like really kind of interesting because the payload section is also wider than like the main body tube. Parachute, unique look with forward swept fins. You can maybe see that. You can also see that looks to be one, two, three on the middle, and then three more, one on each of the boosters. A total of six fins, which is kind of crazy. The core motor is a 24 millimeter motor, so D's, E's, some of the C's, and then the 18 millimeter motors go in the boosters. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty cool looking kit. Here's the instructions. It says skill level 3, which I don't know. It's like the skill level rating is kind of arbitrary. Like you know what I mean. I mean, like I know the fives on Apogee are like pretty crazy, detailed scale kits, but besides that, it's like it's arbitrary. Lots of parts it comes with. Look at this humongous parts list. A lot of instruction pages as well. Um, but again, I sound like a broken record saying this. If you've seen any of my other Apogee components rocket reviews, the details are always super in depth. They're super great. I think this is a newer kit too, so it's going to be even better. Um, Even like with like one of the cooler things, in my opinion, is it kind of really guides you on how to finish the rockets. Um, I mean, like it can tell you where to like paint, how to paint stuff. Um, to tell you. Oh, okay. Well, when I had another Apogee kit, the Apogee Zephyr, it actually like told you what exact spray paints to use to get like what the box art looks like, which is really good. And it was good advice. It's Rust-Oleum Painters Plus or American Accents 2X. They're both the same. They're just two different like names for the same type of paint. Both of those work really well on rockets. Anyways, just a few decals on this one, which is actually surprising. Are you sure there's not more? Because it looks like there's more on the box art, right? I'm about to sneeze. Bear with me. Um, okay, yeah, there must be another decal sheet, as you can see right there. So I'm gonna go look for that as I pull out more parts. Okay, so I am actually missing the other decal sheet, which is a little bit like, yeah, that's actually never happened to me for a rocket kit, so that's kind of the first time, but I'm gonna email like as far as parts to be missing, like that's like the last step. So I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully nothing else is missing. We'll have to look through that later. Um, but I'm gonna send Apogee support an email and we'll see if we can get a replacement. Uh, from what my experience, Apogee support's been really nice. So I'm not too worried about anything. But anyways, let's look at the other parts. We have the fins on balsa. It's actually a pretty simple set of fins, just three for the um, what are they called? The boosters and three for the main body. We have these three wooden they are just like wooden, this is like laser cut plywood. I don't know really what to call these, but I think yeah, they go on the boosters. If you look at the sheet, I think they help align them in place somehow. You see they just go right there. These are those white pieces. I mean, you can see the notches too, which this actually might go on the main rocket. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to figure it out, how exactly like the whole system works. I don't really understand it yet, but I know it's something will hook onto this part right here. That's what holds the booster on. Big thing of Kevlar. We got our parachute. I'm not too excited. This is just like the cut out plastic one. These ones, in my experience, the quality haven't been too great, particularly with these little like protector rings. These just break so easily. I mean, it's just, yeah. You see, Apogee's nylon parachutes that you can buy, those have been really great in quality, but these ones have not been. Then we have just this huge jumble of parts here. You can see the streamers. These would obviously be for. I'm wondering what the this streamer is, but I know these purple ones. There are three purple streamers and this one larger red streamer, but the purple ones I have to assume are for the boosters. So I'm not sure what separates here for this red streamer. Launch lug, bunch of separating rings, and let me sneeze. Or not. Okay. Oh, that's not fun. You like. But anyways, these plastic bits also go as part of the system. One part will go on one side, and one part. And see, these are more of the hooks that I'm talking about. Where I guess it would be very much easier if I just cut this open. But I don't really want to. I don't want to lose the parts while I'm not building. But I mean, you can kind of see the point. Like these pieces right here, they're like little hooks, and I'm gonna figure out the exact system after I'm done building it. But from all I know is one side gets the hooks, one part like gets hooked on, and then like when the ejection charge goes off, it causes the release of the hook and the side piece. That was my really botched explanation, but I don't really know either. Okay, and here we have a butt ton of tubes and nose cones. Also, some good news. I actually did find the decals. They were actually just hidden inside this tube. So let's look at these parts. These are the 18 millimeter motor mounts that go in the boosters. This is the 24 millimeter one that goes in the main body. Here we have 3 of the nose cones for the boosters. Pretty simple. You see more of the notch going on. It's all like part of the, I'm pretty sure actually, again, I'm going to open this up and give you a little demonstration once I figure out how exactly they work. But I'm pretty sure this notch has a part to play in the side booster separation. These are the body tubes for the boosters as well. These have laser cut like gaps in them. Again, probably more part to play. I also think some of these notches will be for these wooden stakes right here. That, yeah, you see. It lines up with these small notches on the wood. The booster. This is like the thinner part of the main body tube that connects to this like boat neck thing. And then these two, you'd separate out. This is where the payload bay would be. That was an overview of the parts being unboxed for the Apogee Hermes HLV model rocket kit. Now let's get on to a time lapse of the build. Okay, so for this build, first step, right? Pop out all like the cardboard. We're gonna work on the body tubes or the booster tubes, and we're attaching the wooden stakes first. Key part is just making sure each part goes over the right part. Some of those holes would help align it. Next, we're gonna cut out the motor mounts. This is a tedious process because like one motor mount is already kind of a chore. Three at once plus another one later, it's kind of a lot of work, but it's not too bad. I'd say I kind of did it assembly line style, and that helped quicken up the drawing process. The instructions have you like do them like one by one, and it's like, what's the point? Well, I guess you do focus more because I did kind of make a mistake. You'll kind of see later on. So I'm attaching the shock cords, the little thin Kevlar shock cords. Attaching the next ring. There is like another extra green ring that you put on there to reinforce the attachment point, and I forgot to put that on. It shouldn't be too big of an issue, like I'm gonna hope. But yeah, make sure you don't do that because once the motor mount's in, it's really hard to get it out. But yeah, there would be a green ring that kind of goes on the end. And you'll see I do actually get it on the main booster, so you can see how it would look different from what I got in. So now we're attaching the nose cones. As you can see, you can already see the notch that's like in there. That's all for the booster system. Attaching the fins, it's not too bad on this rocket, even though there's 4 whole body tubes. There's only 6 total fins. I got these like random little like toy things to help glue and attach them, hold them up by the stake. Now we're making the second motor mount, or not the second, the main one for the main body tube. You can see, there we go, there's the green ring that I was supposed to put on the other ones, but I forgot to. And so yeah, I think you can see I've realized I screwed it up. So I have just these little pieces to help secure them. Because like the green rings there just to kind of prevent like the shock cord from rubbing and like moving so much that it sawed through the centering ring. So if I just secured them, I figured that would mostly fix the issue. Anyways, we're mounting on the main body tube, threading the shock cord back through. We're going to cut apart the nose cone assembly and just set up. We're going to use some super glue here to attach that part to the payload bay. And yeah, now we're going to just sand down the fins, get those set up. Pretty simple process again, just 3 fins for the main body tube, so it's really not too bad. Just glue them like normal, attach them like normal. We're also going to attach here the what's it called, the launch lug. You can see I have those like little thingies holding the rocket straight. I don't really know what they were, I just had them lying around. Need some super glue to attach each of the plastic bits that are for holding onto the booster tubes. And then we're going to just use the booster tube to align the next one and attach that. And we're going to repeat that process for each one. And then just paint the rocket. And that's the whole kit, pretty much. Okay, I wanted to show how the booster system, detachable booster system for these rockets works. And it's a pretty simple, interesting way. I really got it all wrong when I was like open up the parts and like looking at them. Because as you can see, on the booster part itself, there are 3 components, 3 parts that go into the booster. All right, you first got this wooden stake that goes along, stake thing, I don't know, it's really a stake, like a wooden like beam that goes along the opposite side of the fin. And that's there, and it serves as alignment. It helps kind of keep it straight when you attach it to the main body of the rocket. Right, you have this little notch here, and that's also what helps lock it into place. And then you have a hole, and that's where the hook is going to go. And then on the nose cone, you have this little notch that's cut into it. Okay, and the key part to this notch, right, is it lines up, but it goes lower than where the hole goes in, right? The hole is about the exact size of the hooks, but the like space created when you put the nose cone in is smaller. And that's what locks it into place. Okay. I'm looking at the other side, right, with the plastic bits. I thought that like, this part would go on the booster and this part would stay on and that would get hooked on. Now this part right here, this kind of just interacts with the wooden piece, right? So this, firstly, it kind of serves as a channel that keeps it straight and keeps it aligned. And then you have a little tiny hook right here that kind of locks in with this notch and that keeps it locked in place. And of course, you have the hook. It also has this channel so that, the two parts will line up and they will stick in together. You have to open up the nose cone and you put it in there, right? And it fits in like so. And you put the nose cone on, the hook goes through the notch and now it's locked in. And then, right, you have your rocket, right? This motor will be like an E motor, and this would be like a B motor. The B motor would burn out in like, a lot less time, slightly less time than the main motor. So it would shoot off its ejection charge, right? Pop. And then, just because of drag, the streamer, which would be attached, I don't have the streamer attached right now, just because I don't really feel like unfurling a streamer. I'll get to that later, but it's unimportant. The drag would pull this, and it just pulls off this to the side, right? And not sure makes it extra cinematic because it like falls off this way, and it's cool. Like I don't know, yeah, I can zoom out. That's kind of cool. So, pulls it away, falls away, and it's super cool. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the finished product of the Apogee Hermes HLV model rocket kit. This build's kind of been like 3 months in the making. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's been like 3 months since the first clip of this video you're watching. I've been kind of procrastinating, kind of just busy with stuff. So yeah, but we got it done now, and it looks really cool. I think I say this about every like kit I've reviewed recently, but it's like this is a super cool, amazing looking kit. And I mean, yeah, that trend continues. Like this is really striking. Like standing it up, especially I think video doesn't really do it justice. But the size of these booster pods, I mean, it just really is like a big, large, awesome looking kit. It is super cool in my opinion. But as you can see with the paint job, deviated a little bit because in like the box art or card art, there's a lot more of this like sky blue that they use. But I didn't feel like getting that paint job or getting that spray paint. So first I just gave it a coat of white, and then I gave it a coat of silver on the middle. And already that enough looked like really cool. So I mean, this is pretty much where I have it now, and I think it looks really good. Nice decals all around. They're all the sticker type decals. So they're pretty durable. Half of them are transparent, like these are transparent decals. And I believe, yeah, they are. They're like half transparent. Some of these are solid backed and they smell bad. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, you got a lot of options as far as decaling and detailing goes, and it looks really cool. When I was painting, right, since you have all these 3 different booster pods, right, it's kind of a tedious job to paint. So I did 3D print this little tool thing right here. This is just a stand for each of the pods, right? And this is how I also let my other like main rockets dry, but I just have like one I made out of wood with like a peg coming up. You can just set it on the motor mount. That way nothing's touching, and it just lets all the paint dry. But I did that, and I didn't really end up using it because I thought I'd give more detail to these booster pods on how I'd paint them, but I didn't end up doing that. Just left them all white, and then with the decals, that's already enough, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a really cool kit. I'll take off all the booster pods to show you what they kind of look like separately. Yeah, I already demonstrated the how like the booster staging works, right? You have a larger engine in here, smaller ones in the booster pods, right? You have this notch on the wood, kind of locks in here. You have a notch in the nose cone that locks, this in place. It doesn't come out once the engine pops. It's ejection, then it falls out like so. But yeah, these are each of the booster pods. They all have just one fin. Pretty nice looking. They each have their own decals. And then the main rocket itself is pretty unique looking. It has like a boat neck. I think that's what it's called. Where the payload bay, this does function as a payload bay, is quite large, and it's in a larger diameter than the main body of the rocket. Main body is actually the same diameter as the booster tubes. It's just the engine mount is 24 millimeters instead of 18 millimeters. So you have that. You have the hooks. You have the single, what's it called, launch lug. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty expensive kit, pretty nice kit. But there's one critique I have, and it's kind of a frustrating one, and that's just the parachute that the Apogee kits have been coming with. Like this kit and the last one I reviewed, the Snarky, they both came with the plastic parachutes. that you have to cut out yourself. And that already is a pretty low quality, especially for the price you're getting this rocket at. It's nearing like $100, not quite, but it's like $80 or $90 for this kit. It's like really expensive. So like I feel like you could include like one of the very nice Apogee parachutes that they do have, but they have the ones that you cut out, and that's one thing. But the quality of those is really bad, especially the rings that go around and like hold the shot cord, or no, the shroud lines in. Those things like tear immediately. They have no protection. So when the parachute ejects, it's like a big concern that the parachute will tear open. And it's like fine for like tiny little rockets that have like low power engines, low power ejection. But like big rockets like this, which will be going fast, that's kind of risky. So I did have to go out and buy a nylon parachute like this one. I didn't get it off Apogee because, I'm not paying extra for I'm not giving you guys more money for your own flaws in your kits. But that's kind of a big critique I have. And for kits that are this like expensive, I do expect better out of the parachutes. Um, these ones all have the streamers. I didn't put them in yet just because I don't feel like dealing with streamers, but that's fine for like these guys because they're small, and I think streamers would be best, easier to spot, harder for them to be lost. So that's good. But yeah, just the parachute that this came with, not good, disappointing. But otherwise, it's a very cool kit. Um, it's pretty unique. It's very unique actually, innovative, if you will. I don't think there's really many kits on the market where they have the booster pods that come off the side. Um, I'm sure you can design your own. If you figure out their system that they have, you can 3D print this and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty unique, and it is a very cool looking kit. But yeah, there is that critique, and it is pretty pricey. So there's that. But I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to launch this rocket soon. So thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.